What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you could call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Series Kong 2021. Revealed at the same time as Godzilla 2021, Kong would soon follow, releasing alongside Godzilla. Collectors also say this is a worthy contender to the Monster Arts, but other collectors do say this version of Kong does have a fair share amount of issues. Kong would also get reissued along with Godzilla 2021. What you are seeing is the reissued version of Kong. Clocking in at an MSRP of $50, this figure is the same price as Godzilla. What this figure has over the Monster Arts is more accuracy in the sculpt department, which is always nice. But how is everything else? Is this better or worse than Monster Arts? Is it worth the price? Should you wait for a version from the new Empire instead? Well, let's not waste any more time and see if this figure is worthy of a spot on your Monsterverse shelf. Kong looks great. One thing he has over the Monster Arts is more accuracy. His likeness is on point and he doesn't look stubby. He looks great. His muscular details on the front are clean and I love the scarring. Well done. His muscle definition is on point and matches the look he had in the movie. The colors look good as well. His fur has a full coat of dry brushing to help make the details of his fur pop. Nice blackish brown color, and they used an orangish brown color for dry brushing. To be honest, I would have preferred a lighter brown. I'm not 100% sure if the colors here are 100% screen accurate. Also, the eyes look a little questionable. Looks a tiny bit cartoony. Not my preferred look for the eyes, that's for sure. In some ways, yes, this looks better than the Monster Arts cousin, and in some other ways, it just falls flat in my opinion. Don't misunderstand me, this figure does not look bad at all. It just doesn't look as good as it could have been. There's definitely some room for improvements. He looks great, but he doesn't look perfect. Some bits where the articulation breaks up the sculpt also make Kong look a little bit awkward when in a vanilla standing pose, mainly in the leg area, especially in the shoulders. Kong can't put his arms down all the way, so that's unfortunate. I really want to say more good, and where there is good, it's really good. I'll say it again. The sculpt looks absolutely phenomenal, and the colors, while not my cup of tea, doesn't look bad either. It all looks great. Everything blends together really nicely. Overall, I'm going to cut the monkey business and say Kong looks awesome, but definitely could have looked better in some aspects. Great looking piece, but there's room for improvement. Kong's articulation is not as good. I don't think it could have been. For a humanoid figure, I really do think they could have done a little bit better. I have issues in some places. I will go over those issues as we go along. But for now, let's see what we got. Head is on a double ball peg, so he can look this high up. He can't really look this far down because, well, look at the design. He can look side to side though, no problem. And of course, we do have rotation. Arms, they don't really go all the way down from the shoulders, so they're a little bit awkwardly hanging out like this. Not sure why though that is. Oh well. Arms do rotate from the shoulders. Full 360 is a little bit hard to do. And the shoulders on a hinge. He can hinge upward just a little bit more than 90 degrees. Biceps can swivel. And we have double hinged elbows. He doesn't really go more than 90 degrees, just a little bit more, but it's not a lot. Hands are on double ball pegs. We have a ball joint here in the waist, so he can crunch forward just about this far forward, which is decent, and can crunch backward not very far back at all. Forward, I feel like there could have been a bit more movement, and backward feels like it could go a bit. Feels like it should have went a bit more backward, but you know, Legs is my biggest issue. He can kick forward, not very far at all, unless you put it off at an angle, which I hate that. And backward, yeah, not going far back at all. Splits, cannot really do the splits. Actually, he can, just a little bit. Thighs can swivel just a little bit. There is not a lot. So, yeah, leg movement is really limited. Double hinged knees can go a little bit, can go just about 90 degrees. And ankles are on ball joints. There's not a lot of movement on them as well, so yeah. Forward and ankle rocker is non-existent. That's about as far as the ankle rocker can go. My main problems is the shoulders, the waist, and the legs up in the thighs. You can still pose him, it's possible, but compared to his Monster Arts cousin, I don't know. It's not doing him any favors, and you're gonna get a hard time getting poses like him. Look at that. I tried to make it look like he was beating his own chest and his hand popped off. He can't really touch his chest. You can make it look like it, but he can't really touch his chest. Yeah. So, good luck getting more dynamic poses out of him. It's limited, especially in the leg area. You can still pose him, it's still possible. Just keep in mind you're gonna have some trouble. Kong has all the accessories he needs, so I can't say he lacks anything. And for the price point, I'd say this is a good amount of stuff. Something to note, these are really hard to interchange. When interchanging any of the heads or hands, make sure you have a hairdryer handy. Let's see what he's got. First, for the heads, he has a neutral stern looking head, an angry teeth gritted head. That's another one up on the standard Monster Arts Kong release. And a roaring head. These other heads look great. For the hands, he has 2 fist hands, 2 calm relaxed hands, 2 knuckled up hands for walking, and 2 gripping hands for the axe. Here is the axe. Has a nice wash look to it, and the bandages have a very nice amount of detail. The colors are well done, and I love the colors on the dorsal plate of the axe. The blue is awesome. I do wish it was translucent though. To put the axe into gripping hands is easy. Just take off the axe part and stick the handle through any of the gripping hands, and there you go. Kong can now use his trusty axe. So that's all of Kong's accessories. Again, he comes with everything he needs, and I think for the price point, it's no problem at all. He's not missing anything important. You have everything you need for your display, so I'm happy with the overall package. Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own. Kong scales great with the other Hiya Monsterverse figures, but not so much with other brands of figures. He won't scale great with Monster Arts since Hiya is in the 7-inch scale for kaiju figures. Kong scales great with Godzilla and other Hiya figures though. Kong is another good release, but I'll be honest, Articulation alone makes me prefer Monster Arts, and overall Monster Arts has more fun factor than this figure. It's not a bad release at all, but definitely could have been better. Not to be that guy, I'm sorry if I am, but something about this release just feels off. Not a bad figure, but not winning awards either. I do recommend him if you love Hiya's offerings, but otherwise, if you don't care about accuracy, you don't need this version of Kong. Plus, he's sold out in a lot of places, so the aftermarket may end up stinging you. I don't recommend paying more than $50 he's worth. Not the best figure, but for the price point, I can't really be mad at it at all. I'll give Kong a 7 out of 10. Again, not a bad release, but it's not mind-blowing. I recommend waiting for a possible updated Kong from the new Empire instead, or the Beast Glove, because then it'll be available for MSRP.